Okay, and good Monday afternoon, everybody. As you know, we were going to do a live tonight. I have been preparing the poster board with the names of the dead and missing scientists and people within this this story so far as it's being reported, you know, both in the mainstream and also by amateurs like me on YouTube and so forth. So, you know, just in case you guys want to get an early jump on it, yeah, I've got some things on here that are a little outside of the box, right? Okay. But we're going to try to, you know, physically draw these connections and see just what kind of similarities there are. And as we sort of hive mind this case together, as I always had intended if I do anything in the web sleuth community. You know, I don't like to just sit behind the microphone and dictate what I think is going on. I think the whole idea is that we all participate. Well, I mean, as much as we want. I don't want anyone to feel forced. If you just want to watch the broadcast, for God's sakes, watch it. But why not try to draw some of these comparisons between these cases like everybody else is doing? Give us a chance to do it. We're just going to do it a little differently. We're going to do it, you know, I think a little more old school. Yeah, that's right. Old school. So that's my short for the day. But I am working on it. Of course, producer Sensi Wackadoodle is responsible for giving me much of this information. I want to thank them very much, of course. And like I said, if anybody wants to start looking up names and things that can be going either on this chart or whatever we want to call this thing, to start drawing these comparisons, then feel free to do so. You know, this is these are the names, these are the dates, the basic information. But who did they know? How did they know each other? Did they know each other? How many of them went to the same colleges, the same classes, the same professors? We're going to try to figure all that out. We'll talk to you guys Wednesday night. Look forward to all participation levels. Thanks. Have a great day. And live from the mountaintop in the swamp, from UFOs to camel toes, from big chuckles to moose knuckles, you got it locked on the Derek Farmer Network. How's everybody doing tonight? Looks like we got a few people in the room. Want to say hi first off to my esteemed producer, my friend from across the big pond, a Sensi Wackadoodle. How are you tonight? We will work on those slides and everything for tomorrow. It should be you know, okay. I mean, I'm looking forward to the sort of physical aspect of let me know how, you know, let me know if I can be heard, by the way. Oh, Sensi giving out her oh, nice, Sensi. Okay. I guess yeah. But anyway, sorry about that. Let me put that up real quick. Yeah. And good, Sensi. I'm glad you're good. I'm doing okay. Yeah, well, I went to work tonight, you know, and the you know, the guy who had the baby, whatever, he came in, you know, he came in and he's like, you know, I'm working tonight. So I said I will go home, and hey, Junior Johnson, how you doing? And Shay Watson and my boss. And I figure, you know, the one thing that'll get a guy back into work or on time is right after having a new baby, right? Like, I can just see it going down at home, like, you know, suddenly he's like, I gotta go, babe. You know, I gotta be to work right now. Hit me up if you need anything. This has been great, but I'm going back to work because something tells me having a new baby probably isn't a very easy thing to do. And so anyways, he came back tonight. Saving a trip to Elkhart would have been handy, but it got me out and about. We got a little fire going. We got some firewood. Got a little food on the stove. Thought, well, why not a you know, a pre-show preview, if you will. Let you guys know what I have in mind for what tomorrow's broadcast will be. My boss is in the room, so he's guaranteed me that I will be out. Got a hard 5 o'clock out tomorrow, boss. Hard 5 o'clock out. We cannot put off this broadcast one more time. But I hope everybody's doing good tonight. I'm not sure how long we will go. But a lot of changes coming. A lot of changes coming out here in the swamp. A lot of changes coming in life. You know, again, I'm feeling very much like if there was going to be a disclosure moment from an official sources, that moment would be now. There is a fever pitch as we speak. I can tell you that America's top pastors have been briefed on an official level for how to explain to their flocks and their you know, church members the fact that not only aren't we alone, but we have been in communication with these things for quite some time. So it's going to be a big epistemological shock for a lot of religious people. We know this, right? And so what they're doing is they are bringing in groups of America's pastors, and they are whoever they are, the people that brief people, the people in the know. And this isn't just something that I'm making up. You guys could do a little research, whatever, and see that this is actually going down. I would assume that it's something that you'll be hearing about, much like, by the way, what's it, Deutsche Bank, or whatever the big bank is over in England? It wasn't only a few months ago when the CEO of that bank, I don't know if their emails were hacked or what, but she had written an email saying that the bank wants to prepare for the moment of disclosure when it comes to non-human intelligence and advanced craft flying in our skies and diving into our oceans. So, people have been saying it for years. People have been doing little weird, rituals for years and getting together on, Great Rock and George Van Tassel and Werner von Braun, really one of the first members calling in psionically some of these craft. And we now know that, as Eric Burleson has said, Congressman Burleson, of course, on the disclosure committee, actually was briefed on our government has been doing many experiments. There's a guy named Jake Barber. I call him the eyes wide open guy because he's like boing, his eyes are like boing. But I guess when you see the shit that he has seen, that's what your eyes do, right? They go boing because he's turned over video to the mainstream press that shows him flying a helicopter and lifting up an egg-shaped object off the ground that is bigger than a Volkswagen, So these things are called in psionically. By the way, it's also coming out that an incident that took place over the El Paso airport not 2 months ago was indeed a psionic event that Eric Burleson has said that they attended. It was successful. They called in craft, and whether or not they shot him down or what they did, I'm not sure. But the stuff's actually coming out. It's actually real. It's beyond now the sort of, it's now in the halls of Congress. It's in official paperwork, and mark my word, but that's not what necessarily tonight's show is about. It's more about a preview of tomorrow night, and I don't know how many of you guys watched the short that I made, but I think the idea for me, and what I always loved about, there's not much to love about a murder case, right? But if you're gonna be doing something with it, was the sense of community and the sense of figuring out a crime together, or possibly a motive, or possibly even just finding synchronicities or trends or patterns in certain forms of behavior together. I find this to be an exercise, in both humanity and community, really, when you think about it. Because at the end of the day, what we're going to be doing, I hope, is interacting like we are now, but a little bit more. I'm looking to draw the physical lines. The physical lines from what you guys are saying and the patterns that we're forming on the paper. And yes, Sensi has put together a nice a slide presentation. Maybe Sensi, we have to break it up into a couple slide presentations. Maybe it's just too much presentation there. The list is growing. And by the way, I love Sensi snuck in a couple surprises on me on her slide presentation without me asking, and I certainly appreciated that. And I put a couple on the poster board that are pretty damn anomalous, including a name that I have not heard in over 20 years, and that is Chandra Levy. Now, does anybody remember that back in early May of 2001, Chandra Levy went missing? It would only be weeks later that her body would be found on a some sort of hiking trail, I believe, in the Washington, D.C. area where she lived. Coming out in the papers and the tabloids and on mainstream press was, of course, Gary Condit, Congressman Gary Condit, who had been having an affair with her. But nobody ever got arrested for murdering Chandra Levy. I don't think it was long after that Gary Condit himself died of something. Now, someone could look that up, but it is now going through the back channel that Gary Condit was on a committee in the know when it came to UFO technology. And it would only make sense that if you were carrying on a relationship outside of, a secret relationship, with somebody, that there's a possibility, much like Marilyn Monroe, where that information can leak to that person. And that then makes them a threat to the legacy control group, whoever they may be, and that they indeed possibly murdered her. So she's on there in a small area because I thought it was interesting. So there are some things, but there are no less than 13 or 14 that I mean, there's a couple I haven't put up. The Moffat family from Huntsville, Alabama, just went down in a jet crash, a personal jet crash, not 2 weeks ago, and he worked high up somewhere. I'd have to look it up now, but I expect it to be a multiple part series. I don't think one show is going to solve whatever's going on. I think these things have been going on for decades. I bet you there's hundreds of names we could add to that list. Oh, lots of whistleblowers through the years, including, but not limited to, Karen Silkwood, Matthew Sullivan. These are real-time whistleblowers, okay? And people run them off the road, run them into trees. The paperwork they were going to take with them disappears. And then people just let it go by. But I think there are a lot of patterns when I'm just looking at what I've ham-handedly written down on that poster board in such an amateurish way that it's going to shock us all once we start making those connections and drawing the lines, the physical lines. And I'm hoping to have all that sort of participation from you guys, from any content creators, of course, who we're cool with in our circle. You know who they are. All the regulars, the Cryptexes, the Mr. Steves, even some ones that, are a little bit bigger britches than me. I'd say Drunk Turkey Show is welcome to call in if they want. Lana from Truth and Transparency, Scott Roeder's always welcome to call in. Any of these people. I mean, you guys are all welcome to call in too, of course. But I'm saying to panel up and actually be on a panel. If not, we're just going to roll with this series as we go. I don't need anybody next to me to do a show. But I do need you guys in the chat. You're the most valuable resource this channel has. And there's no question about that in my mind. And it's the secret sauce. It is absolutely the secret sauce. And the reason that I bother doing this at all is that sense of community that we have, in my opinion. Let's read a couple comments here. Speaking of sense of community. Since you're saying the sound is fine, that's good. I want to say that was that we brought us in with there. That was a band called Flipper. That's a real old school punk rock band from late 70s, early 80s. And their song, Love Canal. Of course, anybody from the early 80s will remember the polluted scenes of the Love Canal in Pennsylvania. Shay Watson's in the room saying, what do you know? I caught you. You sure did. Now you got to see a doctor to get rid of me. Hey, Shay, says Sensei. And Shay saying, hey, Sensei. And hey, Farmer, that's me. I'm Derek Farmer, the host. My boss popping in to say everything's good. Nice to see you, boss. Sensei saying hi to my boss. Thank you, Sensei. Shay saying, since you have a pick, I want to send you. Given your name online and all, it's a rolling try I made. Maybe rolling's not the right word. In 76 with leaves from a plant I grew from one seed I found in a Dole pineapple can. Interesting. Is that the root start of all right, sure. Paid $600 for that can. Wow. Well, I hope it was full of pineapples as well as finding a seed for that price. For God's sakes. Those were different days, you know. It's so crazy now to think you can just waltz your ass into the store and buy a couple ounces for $40, you know. It's crazy. Probably not as good as those pineapples, Chad. But that's also the kind of pineapples when you get the note from the main post office, you know, like in Chicago Hub or something, going, we need you to come pick up your package. Or you just have to let that go. You have to let those pineapples go, because going to pick up that package means you going to jail. I used to ship the old seeds over when I grew. I don't mind saying now, this is years ago. But when I grew legally I grew in Michigan, but where you know, if you weren't growing from clone initially, you had to get the seeds from somewhere. They didn't sell seeds. That's kind of like a cruel joke almost. Like, you guys can grow pot, yeah, but there's no seeds. You just got to get clones, you know. Somebody's systemically you know, I used to get clones from Anthony Kiedis's Uncle Bud in Grand Rapids. I don't know how to Google that information, but if you dig deep enough, I bet it's there. Guy had a goddamn kidney replaced or liver or something. Anyways, great guy. Great guy. Used to get my clones from him. About every few weeks, I'd go see you know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers' uncle and buy my clones. That's a pretty good story. Hope he doesn't mind me calling him out, but yeah, that was 20 years ago. Who gives a shit? Shay saying, "Oh, you farmer, I thought you just signed off. I was about to be enraged. No, I wouldn't just pop on and sign off. You guys know that. I may not be on too awfully long because, well, I really thought I'd be working tonight, to be honest with you, but I feel a little guilty then having the night off and not popping on and saying hello to the people in our community, to be honest with you. So hello to the people in our community." Oh, shucks. Junior saying, "Hey, from Michigan." And hello again, Sensi. Glad you're here, Junior. Sensi saying, "Hey, Junior." I don't know what that means. Sensi saying, "Good to see you again, Junior." Yeah. Oh, Boston's here. Good. You know, we love it when Boston comes in the room. Boston Christian, one of my very favorite. Oh, Jari's here too. Oh my goodness. Okay, see, here we go. We get all the regulars going, and you guys know that I have no choice but to babble on for possibly of hours. Let me relight this. Oh, by the way, the smoke is excellent tonight. I infused this outdoor weed that I got cheap, granted, $20 an ounce, but I infused it with what is called liquid diamonds. And diamonds are indeed a girl's best friend. Thanks, fellas. Boston saying, "The ice, then the movement of landmass of ice, then the melting, the flood, the deaths of the prehistoric animals, along with stories of the star people and drawing is very interesting." Wow, that's a lot to get out there, Boston. I was just wondering how you were doing. I was just wondering how you were doing, Boston. Jeez, you got a lot on your mind tonight. Oh, I love it, though. That's my kind of talk. That is my kind of talk. That's crazy town talk, and I love it. But you better throw the Giants in the Giants in there too, because I believe all that shit. I really believe it, that the Egyptians were here, the whole shebang. I think it is going to come out that the Knights Templar has been coming here since around 1049 AD, having interactions with the indigenous people, and that those indigenous people protected several Templar treasures that were already pre-buried over here. Treasures which helped win the Revolutionary War, including the one from Oak Island itself. Interestingly, all the info they've had recently found out about the Blackfoot and their stories, they found out have been passed down for thousands of years, and come to find out, all stories are true. Well, I mean, true as far as in their sphere, and even possibly observed. Here's the thing: I don't know what's true and what's not anymore. Okay, I'm losing my grip on what's true, but I feel like I'm gaining some knowledge on how possibly things work to be appearing to be true. And whatever this phenomenon is, I'm not so sure it's a bunch of different things anymore. Um, I'm not so sure it's a bunch of different things anymore. I mean, I think there's I feel like there's like one intelligent creator. Maybe there are a bunch of things that are offspring from that. I don't know. It's too much to think about. But to me, when people from the government are saying, look back at Greek mythology, at different points in history, we're talking about Jesus and the burning bush and all these sort of real things that people could see and touch and experience, that I feel like maybe somehow that whatever the creator is putting forth um, something we can understand or something like that. Like I said, like an archetype that we can worship, something we can worship. I don't know why. I don't know why that even makes sense. Oh, I don't say that's just one theory, It doesn't have to be that way. I mean, also many other things could be happening. Maybe this creator made a trillion planets, and some of those things are coming here, you know. But there are enough people in high level governmental positions that when I say are in the know, they've been in the skips, they've been in the meetings, they've been in the Faraday cage. And they're saying that these things are not necessarily coming from a great distance, that there's a more interdimensional explanation, is what the hinting around is all about. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see what they say. Because all I have so far is the recording of anomalous shit in the sky. And by the way, of these 46 videos that never appeared, they're still supposed to be coming out. And of those, they say the most anomalous things that can't be explained are indeed the orbs in the sky that are very physical things, like plasma balls, but they seem to be intelligently controlled, like what I recorded. And they're saying that's the one thing that they're having the hardest time putting their finger on. Because a lot of things do have prosaic explanations. Flocks of birds in sensor-driven cameras can appear to be this or that. Believe it or not, even a balloon at high altitude can flatten out like a disc. I mean, these things do happen, But the low-flying orbs and what I recorded just over the roof line, and using that roof line and that tree line as reference point in my recording that I sent to crime scene reconstruction specialist via video analytics Scott Roeder, who owns a company called The Evidence Room, who's testified in over 1,500 murder trials, said, Derek, this video is legit. Now, I always bring receipts. I've never had to show you guys, but take my word for it. I would never make anything like that up. Would I, Sensi? Ajari's saying hi to everyone. And Sensi's saying, hello, Jari. So then you're saying, yeah, the ice move, the land mass, the ice, the melting of the flood, and the deaths of the prehistoric animals, along with stories of the star people. It is all very interesting. It really is. Some stories passed down for 18,000 years by word of mouth, passed down from the elders. Yeah, pre-Ice Age. We're talking pre-Ice Age stuff. Admiral Gallaudet, one of the highest ranking Navy submarine, he was the he helped map, I think, the ocean floor. Said Atlantis is real and that we're being occupied with something else, some other non-human, unknown intelligence. Only some people they know something. They may not know what they are, but they have more knowledge than we have, which is zilch, right? When they've only denied for decades, when indeed and in fact, like one Linda Moulton Howe, feel how you feel about her,
said at one point, and I agree, we have been living in a classified reality for the last 80 plus years. They've known something that they haven't allowed us to know about our origins, possibly, or at least about what else is possible out there. My goodness, the biggest story of humankind awaits to get past and break through these barriers that have been falsely put up by small groups of powerful people. It's time for them to step aside or be pushed aside. It's time for the truth to come out and be known. And this channel looks forward to helping be a truth bearer when it comes to the new reality that I believe this planet is going to be facing relatively soon. Boston saying hi to Jari, and Jari saying hi to Boston. Now, I'm going to lay off the UFO talk tomorrow, just so everyone knows. Tomorrow's show is not about UFOs. Tomorrow's show is about missing scientists and missing human beings. And at some point, those, if enough lines are drawn to somewhere that indicates something like that, sure, we'll discuss it. But up and until then, to me, it's just collecting basic information and drawing lines. I don't want to start making some wild ass UFO allegations with tomorrow's show. I'm getting that out of the way tonight. And I'm not relating it to the scientist talk tomorrow, just so you know. I really don't want to, I don't want to prematurely mix those things. I mean, I already feel like I kind of maybe have. So I really want to back off from that and approach this from an older school web sleuth angle, like we did originally years ago, 3, and I say years, not 20, but 3, 4, 5 years ago for me. Where it's more of a group effort to sort of come up with theories and ideas loosely, but also to take what facts are out there and see if there are trends and patterns. I think that's one thing we bring, right? My opinion. And I hope the interactiveness of that makes this broadcast and this channel and this community a bit different than some pre-record where people just go on to sort of dictate their point and bloviate their opinions on cases that they really probably don't know all that much about, and with techniques that they're certainly not trained in. I fully admit that I'm an amateur. I do this in amateur style, but I do it for the love of broadcast, for amateur broadcast, as a creative project. And I look forward to doing that. And episode 1, if everything goes okay tomorrow with the schedule, which I don't see why it wouldn't, we'll get underway. Just a little pre-explanation here for the regulars, if you will. Junior says it's raining in Adrian. It's clearly not raining here in where I am at in Calvin Township. One of only 200 impact meteorite craters in the entire world that have been discovered so far. I'm sure there's some more, but of the discovered ones, this is one of 200. Millions of years old. And I figure that's why the ground can be both hard and soft almost at the same time. So much of the landmass was blown away that I live in a swamp, but everything that settled back to the bottom was all rocks. It's like even when it's wet, it's hard. It's like quicksand out here. But it's lovely when it dries out. There's just a little season, it appears, of inescapable muck, and we know what comes with muck. Whenever there's muck, there's mire. So, let's see. Here's a question for me. Farmer, it's me. I'm the host. Did you see the post Hiawatha shared, asked Sensi Wackadoodle, on the community about a program she recommended? Yes. That program is, I believe, Stephanie Harlow. Thank you, Hiawatha, if you end up watching this in a rerun or if you pop in late. Yes, I have been watching Stephanie Harlow. Have you been? Did you watch? Anybody else know Stephanie Harlow? She has I subscribe to her, but she's bumping right up at 1 million subscribers. So she's got a big show. But I've watched her content on these missing scientists. It's really good. And I want to thank Hiawatha for that recommendation. on this case. It's definitely helped provide some what I hope are facts. You know, we'll do our best to fact check. I don't want to make wild allegations about where people worked and ties they didn't have. I really want this to be accurate. So, you know, if I have to do a little fact checking during the broadcast or ask somebody else to quickly fact check something, you know, maybe we could do that. We'll see how it goes. It's always an experiment, you know. But if it goes well, I would expect more than one episode on this particular case, because I don't think talking for 24 hours in a row, we're going to figure anything out. We're just going to begin to fill in that information. Right. Jerry's saying hi to Shay. Boston saying hi to me. Hi, Boston. Good to see you. Always good to see Boston. Boston says star people cannot be a good thing for us. Apparently, they could be very bad. Well, they could be mischievous, I heard. Hi, Watha is in the room. Hi. Oh, she said she's going back to listen on double speed. She'll be right back. I wonder if she's really doing that. That's funny. I've never heard anyone really kind of do that in real time. Wow, hi, wow. I talk kind of fast anyways, and I got that high, I kind of up high and a tight voice, I like to say. It's not very resonant. Certainly not a broadcaster's voice in terms of what a classical broadcaster would sound like on the air, you know. That's okay with me. I don't care. Maybe I'll actually relax one of these days, huh? Bring the vocal cords down. Farmer receipts, check the balance, regards video verification. Thanks, Betsy. In other words, she saw that email that Scott Roeder sent me. Because, you know, I don't like to just say things without, but I don't want to just put other people's stuff on blast. So, you know, since she's my producer, you know, she's privy to all my emails. But hopefully we will be able to expand and grow the base of, you know, whatever this idea is that we're doing here, and have contributors and all kinds of things. There's so many stories to be told just from the 10 people in this room, you know. I've heard so many incredible, I would say great, some have been great, some have been terrible, but all of them interesting for sure. All worthwhile of their own segment, in my opinion. Oh yeah, but thanks, Hiawatha, for that Stephanie Harlow recommendation. I mean, I really do like her. She's thorough, and also she doesn't necessarily stay on topic. Like, she starts kind of weaving in her own shit too, and I kind of dig her style. Like, she feels like a pro to me. She feels like a pro, unlike me. I feel like an amateur. She's like a broadcaster, but I feel like the info is solid, you know. And I'm still a really big fan. Hiawatha's turned me on to a couple really great broadcasters. Honestly, I'm still a huge fan of Josh from Polarity. You know, I still really enjoy that show. He does a lot of live content. I like it live. So yeah, really great recommendations there, Hiawatha. I watched both of those. In fact, Josh and one of my favorite broadcasters who doesn't always do it live, but does a daily thing, like, and that's a Pavel from CO Activo, who is actually a journalist, you know, who has a lot of connections and a lot of interesting angles. And I find that every time I listen to him, I learn something from Pavel on CO Activo. And that also, whatever intuition I may claim to have, I just can tell he's a good person. I could just fucking tell, okay? And I know people are saying, no, you can't tell on the internet. You can't tell. Sometimes you can tell when people are good. And sometimes you can probably tell when they're bad. I can tell Pavel is a truth teller. He wants to get to the bottom of things in a real way, probably willing to even go to jail to protect sources or worse. Okay? So anyways, Josh and him did a 2-hour live sort of broadcast together, and it was really good. Like, they both communicated they both had a very like I feel with Cryptex, very organic sort of back and forth, So yeah. I'm getting a little behind here, so I'm going to try to read a couple. Boston saying the silver balloon floating back behind my house that summer after our sighting. Several neighborhoods kids chased it, then ran back to inform me it was not a flying floaty. Very interesting. Oh, right. Well, yeah, one of two things can happen there. Yeah, either they're in their heads are seeing a balloon, but then they realize it's not a balloon, or some kids see a damn balloon floating and they go, "That's what you saw. You saw what we saw, a balloon." And you're like, "No, kid, that's not what I saw." That ain't what we talking about. Boston saying, Sensi, watch what? Oh, if you're talking about what I was talking about, that Hiawatha recommended, it was a show called Stephanie Harlow. Now, I don't know if that's the name of the show, but you can probably just search her on YouTube and find. I mean, it was a really big show, big million subscriber show. Oh, Sensi saying, go to Farmers Community Post. Hiawatha posted a recommended documentary from years ago that had footage she had never seen before. Have I even seen that yet? I'll be watching that later. That'll be my go to night. I like to put on a few old UFO shows. I like the psychedelic music in the background from the 60s and 70s UFO shows, In Search of, something like that. I love that stuff. I just love it. I eat it up. Boston saying it was the size of a big balloon again. Strange color of silver. The kids were all screaming for their parents. Then it took off. Well, balloons don't usually take off. In a second, it was gone. Yep. That probably wasn't a balloon then. Probably one of those doggone UFOs. They're happening, Hiawatha asking Sensi, did you watch it? Hiawatha needs answers. Damn it. My sister from another mister. Hiawatha. Boston saying, thank you, Sensi. Hiawatha, Sensi, never ending. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, she's going to watch it tomorrow, Hiawatha. I mean, I guess you could probably read it yourself, but it's fun for me to go through, You know me, I like to read every comment. Hiawatha saying, I'm just about to go to bed. Glad I turned on the TV first. All my friends gathered around the fire. Aw. Yeah, you'll even sleep better tonight. You will feel, everyone can feel as if, well, I don't know. Maybe you don't feel like you're next to the fire. I feel like I am, but I'm going to add a little wood to it. We don't have much left, I just bought the small batch tonight. Oh, dang. Well, I've already picked 4 ticks off myself this year. I don't even bother getting the antibiotics anymore. I just eat the tick, I just let them know, like, fuck you. I'm like a red-ass baboon now. I just eat the ticks right off myself. Oh, this thing's not on, is it? I might have to grab another a root beer with alcohol. Yeah, well, the only reason that you don't have a better fire angle, by the way, is because it's still difficult to get a signal. So I'm like trying to point, wherever that signal catcher is. I think it's in the top of the computer towards the Elon Musk thing on top of the workshop. It's got like a square satellite dish, Jerry's trying to change your profile pic. Oh, you did. I see it's changed. It was the other way forever since I've known you, I think. And for everybody, there is Jari's new profile pic. That'll be popping back up. Don't worry, Jar. Sensi bed when Farmer's live. No, go to bed if you want. I don't want you to stay up so friggin' late that you know me, because like I was ready to get out of here 10 minutes ago. Just do a quick little update. Then I see people are coming in the room. I can't do it. I enjoy the conversation too much. I got to get through these comments. And the only way that I stop the show is when the comments stop. So you guys know what to do. Anyways, Boston saying, Sensi, what is the footage of exactly? I must have missed this. Oh, right. Boston is asking Sensi, but she hasn't watched it yet, I don't think. I haven't watched it either. I didn't even look at the community. I just did my rounds. I went to work, realized I didn't have to work. Next thing you know, I'm buying firewood and got a little bit of food for the inside. I'm cooking it. Kind of on a beef kick lately. Yeah. Boston saying, Sensi's saying, Boston, I think UFO footage. I've not watched the documentary yet. Hi, Watha, can you expand? Good use of the word expand. I'm gonna expand. I'm gonna expand really quick. You guys can watch the fire now. Get my big ass out of the way. Okay, there. Hopefully the signal doesn't cut out. I'd like you guys to be able to see it. I will be right back. If anybody sees any weird shit, any dogmen, any UFOs, orbs. I definitely had an orb sighting in the field. I think I told you guys that last broadcast. So I just didn't have anything to record it. And it was at ground level. Haven't had that before. It really kind of scared me. I got the hell out of it, and I was all by myself in the field. No light. Maybe I had just my little flashlight, and I got like a headlamp that I wear, But the batteries are dying, so it's dim. Anyways, it was the size of a basketball. Must have been at least, because it's way back there where the other 40-acre connects to this 100 acres, and there's like a little narrow path that goes through. Just past the dead swamp. And it was just hovering there. And I was like, all right, dog, finish up, let's go. I just didn't even want to interact with it because I don't want to be too inviting, I don't want to be too inviting. I'm too skeptical. Too skeptical. Oh, yeah. I'm from the old school of reporting, If your mom says she loves you, check her sources. Well, it is quite a lovely fire. It is quite a lovely night. I'm probably a little chilly for some folks, but for some reason, I'm just not feeling that way tonight. I think it's around 52, 53 degrees. You know what it is? There is no wind. You guys see that fire, right? Usually it's blowing all over the place. Tonight, no wind. It makes all the difference. So this 52 degrees really doesn't feel, I'm just not feeling it. It actually feels really great out here. Really great. And by the way, I'm moving to the city in 2 weeks. Did I mention that? I have given notice. There's a new young couple here on the property with their own RV. They will be taking over duties here at the mountaintop in the swamp. This is not a test. It's not a red alert, but it's not a test. My boss has already taken the liberty to take care of provisions for me in Elkhart. I thank him for that. And in 2 weeks' time, maybe 3 tops, we will be broadcasting from the concrete jungle, from the hard city streets of Elkhart, Indiana, my new residence. But fear not, I will make it back to the mountaintop in the swamp, as my RV will still be here, or I think whoever I turn it over to. It served me well. and have a place to have a fire and perhaps sight in my 9mm when I want. Those things are important to me. Can't really do that in Elkhart. You tend to go to jail for having either a fire or sighting in your 9mm. And you can understand why. You're living around a bunch of other people. And this place is sharp, you guys. Wait till you see it. I mean, no doubt, we're talking swimming pools, movie stars, the whole deal. I won't tell you the amount of cash he dropped, for Christ's sakes. But I sure do appreciate it. And we'll work extra hard to make the boss proud. And to continue to build what we have going over there, for now. So it's paying the bills, And I just need to up my game a little bit and be able to work that 50 to 55 hours a week. Well, we could just work my age. 54 hours a week is what increasing 1 hour until I retire. So by the time I'm 65, we'll be working 65 hours a week. Although I don't plan on retiring until I'm 72. Well, that's 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And by that age, I should be in really good shape by then, I think. Yeah. I will be toned. I will be Speedo worthy. Hiawatha saying just go to the old community post page and scroll. You'll see them. Yeah, don't scroll back, too far. Otherwise, you get back like past a year and you start running into depressed Eric. We want to forget about that. But I don't erase the past, typically. So it's all there. It's all there. All the miserable shit. I don't go back and look myself. I'm moving on, you guys. I just have to. And it appears the new couple that have moved in, and then another young couple maybe moving in, they are really embracing the idea of being out here. They've already started the garden. They're getting chickens, and they're going to do it right. They're not going to do what I did. But I didn't ask for a chicken. Okay. I did the best I could. But they're building the coop now before they get chickens. What do you think about that? Not a bad idea to build the coop ahead of time. So they're into it, and I think it's going to work out pretty good. I really do. I think it'll be really beneficial for Thad. They say they're very resourceful. Getting resources is what they do. Sounds great. They're latching on, and they've already started investigating the ear situation. Since I wasn't able to clear it up. But the landowner came out the other last week, and we had a nice conversation. And yeah, I'm gonna leave my give my unit and get the hell out of here and have a nice place to come back and hang out. Sometimes have a fire, But I'm looking forward to having a room with in-unit laundry, hot running water. I haven't had hot running water in almost 14 months. I haven't had a bathroom with a running toilet in almost 14 months, let alone hot running water in a shower. So these simple things that a lot of people and a lot of us, and me, for example, took for granted for a long time. When you go out without it for a week or two, it can be charming. You go without it for a month, it could be one of those shows, a reality show on TV, whatever, Death Island or whatever that shit was, Idiot Island, Or it could be 14 months in a row of actually living it, which is what I've been doing. The RV has served me well, but moving it out of the mountaintop in the swamp runs the risk of damaging it beyond all reproach, as it's an older unit. I like the idea of, since everything works, no leaks, let it go to someone and let it be here where it could be useful in the future, either for me to have a quick vacation or for whatever usefulness it could bring to this lovely property, which Boston, I know you love. But I'm not planning on leaving and not coming back. Again, I'm only 10 miles away. I'm still going to come see the dog and stuff like that. So I just have to focus on working. I've been working around 45 hours a week, but I really do need to amp that up to 55 hours a week. And I need to cut out, the 500 miles of commute every month on a new car when mileage in terms of warranty is an issue, gas prices are an issue. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, by cutting that out, this car already is saving me 20 miles a gallon nearly, about 18, 17 miles a gallon. That's huge. That's huge for what I do. And then to be able to cut out 500 commute miles, So, anyways, that's the plan. The lease has been signed, as they say, and things are in motion very quickly. So I look forward to tomorrow's broadcast, and I'll be here still for a couple weeks as we don't get keys yet until sometime in a week or so. But I look forward to boss, you probably might have done a great job with the chicken. The chicken will still be here. Yeah, so it's gonna be more of an apartment setting, new apartments, nice newer apartments, right close to my job. In fact, probably within a quarter of a mile of where I work, right there. So big swimming pool, workout room, facilities, a rent. If I'm gonna get married, let's say I get married, I could rent out the hall, nice wooded surroundings, but in the city with the woods around it. It's like both, like in the woods, but back off the road to yourself, but yet still right there in the city. So, bye, Hiawatha. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's really the more hopefully the one that we can be a little more, I think, physically participating in when I'm drawing those lines. I can see it. Shay's back. Boss is saying if we build a tiny house in the backyard for sun, probably put in a composting toilet, rain capturing barrels, and on-demand hot water with 6 solar panels. Yeah, I mean, if that's what I decided, like if this is my place, I could focus on that kind of stuff. But because I'm just renting at either place for the same amount either way, I think I'm gonna go with a city living for a while, especially because well, Jerry, I'll still be having the internet out here probably. I'm sure I'm still gonna either pay for the internet or some shit out here. I mean, I can't imagine not broadcasting from out here occasionally. I really can't. So if I'm out here, we'll still be able to see Thad, and I'll make shorts and stuff like that. Maybe bringing him food, and it's a team effort. I'm just gonna have to be moving on from my part of being the physical person who's trying to care for him. But I'll still pitch in financially, and I'll be in better shape to do that. Making this lateral move money wise, but I'm actually cutting a lot off my cost, paying the same amount, but gaining more amenities that again, I'm not looking to live a luxurious life, but it'd be nice to do a load of laundry and take a shower the same day one time in 14 months. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it. I'm pretty excited, by the way, about it. I mean, I'm into different experiences. It's going to be this way for a while, and then after this, who knows where it goes? I don't know where it goes. I don't think I'm signing 2 years worth of leases in Elkhart. I mean, to me, it still feels somewhat temporary, like a building move. Like a stepping stone. Again, it's a lateral move money wise, but at the same time, it's to me, it's cutting a lot of costs out and a lot of hard living, quite frankly, that this winter brought me. My vehicle, me, it just about plumb put me in a different zone a few times. It really felt desolate from time to time. Of course, now other people are moving out here. Total different feeling. Especially these guys are really cool. Like super young, progressive couple, got their own RV and they work at the same place. And so it's just like perfect, And it's what they want to be doing. They want to be living this lifestyle, so it's like they've studied for it. I lost my house against my will. That's why I've been living this lifestyle. I tried to make the best of it. I did. I'm not disappointed at all with the experience. It was fucking great for a lot of times. You guys know that. I can have a good time virtually anywhere, but I'm also looking forward to a summer filled with being around other people. I need that sometimes, And this is great too. All of it together, but I need that actual, hey, let's go get coffee. Let's go get breakfast, that kind of thing. I know you guys know what I mean. I don't have that here. It's a damn lonely life. I mean, it was lonely, and especially typifying that loneliness for me was when I was working at DoorDash. It's why I even took a pay cut to work at a stupid fucking gas station. Because I get to see people on a regular and be at the same place. Like I just needed that. I needed that brick and mortar experience, where I could see the same crew and be the golden boy that I am. I'm really good at my job. Just ask my boss. Anyways, guys, High Watt saying see you tomorrow night. And she's gone, yeah. Yeah, she was whooped. It's already 10, and I probably won't be on too much longer. Yes, exactly. You just made reference to toilet and running hot water. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not killed me. I mean, I work at a place with a toilet and running hot water, but that only goes so far. I'm looking forward to a regular shower. I was raised with a shower. It's just something. Doesn't mean I wouldn't want to own my own piece of property and Boston incorporate everything you're talking about someday. But first, we got to stabilize. First, we got to work those 55 hours a week for a year solid to get on top of things. Now, like a slow workout schedule, I have been building up, and it almost feels like getting overtime now. Doesn't even feel like I'm working 40 hours. So I know this is happening. And when I'm right there next to the place, I'm going to be bumping over there all the time, taking as many deliveries as I can. So, yeah, exactly. I had time to reflect. I had time to stabilize out here for sure. I'm not definitely no bad feelings about the mountaintop, guys. The price was right for what I needed. It was the space that I needed away from other fucking people for a while. You guys know I was at my wit's end. And I feel like I have sort of regained some composure in life. But I think it'll continue to grow and grow and grow. I hope before time runs out, whatever that means. I mean, because like I've said, in the past, I mean, it's one thing to piss and moan about your terrible life. But if you're not willing to acknowledge things when they're going well and sort of say thank you for that and to highlight those things as well, then maybe you're only wanting to portray one side of life. Me, I'd rather see that there's been improvement, that improvement is causing positive change and in my life. And I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to go with the natural feel of it. I mean, it feels right. This move now, moving to Elkhart, feels right. The price is right. The feeling is right. I'm doing it. Nothing holding me back, right? With all that being said, you guys, it was really great to be here with you all tonight, even if it was a sort of shortened show. I did want to pop on. Tomorrow, I think, will be a little bit longer, probably, as we start to make some of those connections. Should be around 7. You guys know my life can sometimes, I drive a lot. Let's hope it sticks to a firm time. But tomorrow, I'm pretty dead set on tomorrow. So, with all that being said, you guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and always keep your eyes on the skies. We'll see you tomorrow night, and I look very, very forward to it. Thank you for all your participation tonight. Have a great night. Love you guys. Bye.